Another day, another daily podcast, and another day with Martin and me. Martin, it's starting to get romantic in between the two of us.
We just need some candles and
And
looking
flowers,
each
and
other.
flowers.
Flowers.
I want to get flowers at some point.
Yeah.
I never got flowers. Did you ever get
I
flowers in your
wanted
life?
chocolate. I wouldn't. Did I ever get flowers? Yeah, I did after an exam or something like that, or man of the match.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. Then I virtually sent you some flowers here for a great episode that is just laying ahead of you guys. Enjoy it.
Ball across to Dylan Nahi, double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Ooh, into the net.
She does it again. Yes.
Van Magdeburg are the champions of Europe. To come up with something here. She has a game. Surprise the keeper. What a comeback!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time to talk handball again. Group 2, main round Group 2, has entered the chat. We have seen the first main round games and we are a little smarter. And as I'm saying we, that's me, Bengt, joined by my fellow Dane, Martin Vilstrup. How are you?
Oh, good, thank you. Always pleasure to spend these late evenings with you and talk handball. It seems like a
I
tradition
can get
that
used
is
to that.
Yeah, it's tradition that is just you and me here, and then Victor Andrea is coming in, and bullying me a little bit when I'm in the arena, and Denmark is losing or something like that. But no,
All
no,
winning. All winning.
all winning. They did the last time. No, but all good. Another exciting main round, or the other main round group was also exciting today, and to me, maybe more exciting than I expected before the games. Have to say also, if people in the match predictor today was not my strongest performance, but
Oh, I
yeah,
forgot to put in my predictions today.
come
Mm.
on. So, so
That
you
yeah
went with
gives
the
you
AI.
yeah
Then
basically
you got
so.
I can say that you got the goal difference between Sweden and Slovenia, right then.
But I think it only gets you the lowest possible amount of points. So I think that should
Okay.
still only be 5 points there. And if you guys are wondering what we're talking about, then you didn't do your homework and you didn't do the Home of Handball app work because the match predictor powered by Gorenje gives you daily chances to win cool prizes. And if you join our league, the link is to be found in the show notes, then you can still win a signed jersey and more cool stuff. So definitely a recommendation for you. Of course, today Group 2 played, but since we are talking today, I wanted to know from you, how's it like in Denmark right now? So you are there in Aarhus, 1.5 hours from Herning, but today I want to know from you, how did the press see the game yesterday?
Oh, very good actually. Because as I said also yesterday when we spoke about it, it may not have been the most pretty handball game that ever played, but the way that they pulled it out and especially also stepped up defensively, especially in the middle with Saustrup and Hall, they performed way better than they did against Portugal, and also Emil Nielsen had some crucial saves in the end, and so they are back to the optimistic, or being optimistic as they were before, if you can call it optimistic, but they still know that every game from now on is a final, because if they lose the next one, then it doesn't look good again. So but that performance was good. Let's have in mind that it is the European champions at the moment, France, and they are a strong team. So all good from now on, but it can quickly change tomorrow because Spain is a different playing style. But they are back in believing in it. So that's a good sign.
Alrighty. So then the Danes are starting to see the world happier again. We might see Thanos on the rise right now, but we'll have a look at that tomorrow again, because today is about main round Group 2. It was Iceland and Croatia who opened the day today, and as we have talked yesterday, you expected, and I cite you, a war on the court. And did it become the game that you expected?
Yeah, and as you said, I looked forward to the fast and technical Icelandic players against the powerful and strong Croatian team. And Croatia started with the ball and got a passive play, and then in the first defensive action was Maras. He actually hit Omaingi in the face, and from there on, I thought, okay, it is going to be a fight between these two teams in whatever strength they have. And 2 minutes later, Martinovic got a 2-minute suspension, and it's like, okay, now the standard is set. But overall, actually, I also thought that Iceland would have won this one, to be honest. But Croatia impressed me, and especially Maras and Srena. They opened from the distance, and Srena has been looking very good the last two games. Also, the game against Sweden. As long as he controls his feelings and and they don't
But
take over him.
But today I don't entirely agree with you. So first half was his half. He had a great game there, but in the second one, Iceland found quite a good hang of him.
Yeah, there I actually also agree with you. Then in the beginning of the first half, Maras and Serrana, they were very good, and they were, Maras was shooting from, I don't know, 12, 13 meters, and Serrana was, challenging them with his strength and power. But yeah.
As we're talking about Mateo Maras, we want to hear how he saw the game.
Yeah, we like drama, so we put it to a show today. I think we had the game in our hands, but it was strong performance by Iceland in the beginning of the second half. We struggled a little bit when we took our way and bring back our playing style. I think we deserved a win, and we showed it at the end.
One sentence that stuck to my mind there is that he said, "We love the drama," and it went into their favor today, 30-29. But in the rest, do you agree with his analysis?
If we put it into perspective, there was not one point where Iceland was leading in this game. So Croatia took the lead very early, and then from there on, it was a close game. In the end, if speaking about it, just also before, the goalkeeper Kuzmanovic also had a save, and Dino Slavic, who also started the game, which I didn't expect. It was a huge surprise for me. And okay,
but
one can say
he met the post and needed to be subbed off. But he came back, and he came back gigantic. I think it was a 7-meter penalty that he immediately saved after he came back.
And also 7 meters today. I don't recall how many saves they actually had from Croatia, but I think it was 2 or 3 or something like that. So so that was quite some performance if you think about them having 9 saves in total, and then 1/3 of them is coming from the penalties. So we often speak about some situation can change the games or the mentality about it, because once your goalkeeper have a penalty save, it gives you some kind of a boost, especially depending on when in the game it is. But
might be things to think about, our fellow friends from France, when your goalkeeper isn't saving on 7-meter penalties, and the other goalkeeper already had saves in the first half on penalties.
Yeah, that's true. We spoke about it yesterday with Bolzinger, but coming back to the Iceland and Croatia game, there were some. Today was not also Gisli Kristjansson's game. Croatia did very well, because we've seen a lot of teams struggling to stop him, not only by him scoring goals, but when he go 1-1, bringing the tempo into the game, and actually taking 1.5 man to him and then pass the ball.
But that's actually where I wanted to ask you, did it become a little bit foreseeable? Because you always know that Gisli is going to go for that 1v1, that he is going to take that pass, that he is trying to drag the defenders. And Croatia, especially today, they had their defensive weapons against that many times above the limit. One has to be fair in that perspective. If we're looking at the 2-minute suspensions, I think it is 12 minutes to 4 minutes for Croatia there, and that is quite a difference. But still, I'm gonna ask just like that: did the Icelandic offense become foreseeable?
Oh, I don't know if it did so, but it's like the Croatian guys are big. And I actually do believe that the 5-1 defense from Croatia has been the most effective one. from their side, with Marko Mamic laying in front because of his size. And once somebody go 1v1 on number 2 or number 5, then he, instead of being high on the field, he goes a little bit back, so he can, in case the defensive players on number 2 or 5 needs backup, then he's there to do it. And by that, he still have pushed the opponent's playmaker far away from the goal. So in that sense, he's not a threat for the Croatian team. And I think Marko Mamic do a good job there. Dunjak also did, so he learned something from him maybe. And today, I think Croatia did well, because it's tough to stop them, not only from Iceland, but also the Magdeburg combination with Gisli and Omaengi. It's they're fast.
I agree, but Croatia did well. That's why they deserved those 2 points. Iceland didn't lose it all today, because I think in Group 2 there's actually only one team right now at 4 points. So it's only Sweden, what we are going to come to in a bit. But the other team that is now finally on 2 points are Hungary, who beat Switzerland today. And
it's a draw, my friend. It was a draw, my friend.
They drew. Sorry. You're absolutely right. It's Hungary who drew against Switzerland. And at first, we want to hear Andy Schmid, coach of Switzerland, what he has to say about the game.
It's not hard to talk, because I'm happy because we get 1 point. We are standing in the main round with the Swiss team. I think it's the first point in the main round in the history of Swiss handball. For sure, if I see the game, we played almost perfectly again for 35-40 minutes. That's the way it is. It's not handball is not like you can't ask the question why don't play the same like the first 40 minutes. That's the way it is. They have also quality. Hungary. The goalkeeper had a really great second half, and that's why in the end we played better first half. They played a better second half. That's why we made progress in this case, that we didn't lose. Because we were in a tricky situation after 50 minutes where we were behind. I think the first time we were behind in the game, and we managed to do that, and we managed to get a point. In the end, yes. We can say also that we could easily win. That's the way it is. That's handball. I'm just proud because there are some young players on the field. They are making their first experience on European handball stage, and that's why I'm happy with it.
A very proud Andy Schmid there, who liked the way that his Swiss national team jumped in there today, and as he said, first point ever in main round history for Switzerland.
Yeah, and I mean, respect to Andy Schmid for taking the positive glasses on here in the way that he analyzed the game, because once I saw the game, I had at 1 point, is this gonna be something typical Switzerland? We're gonna think about it this Euros, being in front with 6-7 goals, and then the opponents come back, because
you made
it
some
was
kids
something
happy there by saying being up 6-7 goals.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
I
go on.
didn't even think about it. Yeah,
go on.
But they were leading 25-18, and then Hungary had a run with 6 goals. Switzerland scored 3, and then Hungary scored. So it was bouncing back and forth a lot. But throughout the entire game, especially in the beginning, Portner and Palasic in goals were doing amazingly. But I think consistently over the entire game, I think Palasic did best, and maybe that was also one of the reasons why they came back and also stopped these kind of fast breaks and can you call it second phase counterattacks from Switzerland?
Second wave, maybe.
Yeah, second wave also, because if you look at some of the statistics, also Linné Rubin, he scored 7 goals. So if you look at that, then one might think that it was a pretty decent game, but it's on 16 shots.
Let's stick with Linné Rubin here for a second, because as you're saying, 16 shots just from him. When he got a 2-minute suspension, you could see the Swiss attack slowing down a lot. So they did take more time than weren't that creative. The general tempo of the attack was going down. And that's absolutely no hate to Switzerland for that, because one has to see where they come from. But it will be interesting to see how over the next years that responsibility is gonna get away from Lenny Rubin, because I do feel like they are on the right path with Andy Schmid.
Yeah, for sure. They're representing themselves very well. And as he said in the interview, they're in a main round. And, I don't believe that many people predicted Switzerland to win against Hungary or to get a
Or
point.
to even reach the main round, one has to be
Yeah.
really bold to predict that.
Yeah. That also, what a hot take. No, but in that sense, I agree. But this is also the beauty about handball, being able to score 20 goals in the first half and then only 9 in the second one. And then people, why don't you just play like you did in the first half? Yeah, if it was that simple, I bet that Switzerland would have done it. But there are sometimes also an opponent on the other side that tries to stop you. And if they
especially
succeed,
because all the people who say that, I want to see you guys run 5 kilometers in under 30 minutes before you say that. Well,
Exactly.
that's not even the biggest task. So yeah, but in any way, hats off to Switzerland for
sure.
drawing against Hungary. It was a good game by them, but it wasn't the last game of the day, as we were still having Slovenia against Sweden to close down the day for us, and it was a fun one. Sweden ended up winning it by 4, but it wasn't always that close. So Slovenia did a good job, but at any point you did have the feeling, all right, Sweden is gonna come soon, and then Sweden is gonna, probably take home a secure victory. Or how was your feeling?
Yeah, before the game, I was expecting Sweden to not win easily, but maybe with how it ended up in the end, with this 4 kind of goal leading throughout the game, 5-6 maybe also. But I have to say I was impressed by Slovenia in the beginning. Ben, speaking about goalkeepers in Switzerland, Hungary, it seems like Bashnik and Palika, they had a battle in between the two of them. In the beginning, it's like, if he has a save, then I need to quickly have a save as well. And it was on counterattacks, free shots and stuff like that. But I know they ended up losing, but today I was positively. No, Slovenia left a positive, can you say remark on me or impression?
Maybe.
Impression from the game. Yeah.
They did, but in the end, as I see it, the team won that defended better over the 60 minutes. So Slovenia was doing a great job in getting Sweden tasks, so forcing them to think about something, and that was one of the main reasons why they even took the lead into the halftime, because Sweden was a little overwhelmed with the 3-3 defense that Slovenia put on, and especially in the first half, you could see that Sweden wasn't able to play with their line players. They didn't get them into the game, but after the game, Bergendahl and Max Darj, they stepped up, and that was the point where the game switched. Or how do you see it?
That also, but I also believe it. For me, it's not a surprise when some of the can you say smaller teams or not the favorites in the games are, keeping it up with the ones that we predict before the game is gonna win, because in the beginning they're full of energy, and later on as the game continues after 40-45 minutes, after being beaten by Oscar Bergendahl or Max Darj in the defense, obviously you're gonna run out of energy, and Sweden is more. They can easily change players. Let's be honest. Domen Margoci needs to play 60 minutes. Blaž Jans needs to play 60 minutes for Slovenia for them to have a chance, especially having in mind with all the injuries that they have. So I think that also left them a little bit, or it had a impact on the game later on. But as I said, Slovenia in the first half was very good, but the second half was Sweden's, and their defense in general, I think, is very good. And with Palika and Appelgren and Oscar Bergendahl, I wouldn't be surprised if he's also one of the top favorites for best defensive player. It's too early to say, but him and Max Darj in there is very good. But still, I want to say Slovenia did good.
I do feel like Slovenia didn't find proper, they didn't find proper ways to deal with the Swedish defense. So, of course, that being said, after they have scored 31 goals in this game, but in the decisive moments, Sweden was always there, and they always had the chance to turn the game around because they knew how to handle the Slovenian offense, I feel like. So, especially in the first half, Slovenia always needed to take long-range shots, and none of them worked. So they
Exactly.
shot each and every time from the backcourt. But that was one of the points where you could see Blasian's not entirely his position.
Exactly. Long range shots. I was about to say it also that that's with this team, it's only Makovsek that can do it from the further distance, but he doesn't play that much offensively. And as you said, Blasians today, 2 goals on 7 attempts. It's not the best one. And maybe there was some goals from him they were lacking today in order for it to be even closer. Domen Marguc, I think, he made 8 goals on 14 attempts. And he also made a lot of mistakes, some of the passing mistakes he made, but overall, I think he did pretty good. And when you need to make every decision there is, but long distance shots is not a thing for Slovenia. The Margus brothers, Blasians, it's moving themselves quickly, 1 versus 1, and also moving the ball quickly is their strength. And that's
I
where they're
feel like
very
especially
good.
when they did that, they did get a hang of the Swedish defense. So passing the ball super quickly and then eventually working out some room for the wingers. I do feel like the wingers were the best option that Slovenia had today.
Yeah. Domen Marguc, he played good as well. He missed that penalty, and then from a 0 angle or something like that. I don't know why he went for that one, but besides that, he played a good game, and also the Latvian Jovicic and was it Tilin Kotrin? He came in. I think he only had a couple of shots, but there are good players. Slovenia is a good team all over with all the players they have. But I also feel like in the end. They got a lot of 2-minute suspension.
Matter.
Oh, that's a great song, actually.
And it fits good. It fits good because eventually Slovenia didn't reach the class of Sweden today. It was to be predicted into that direction, but let's see. As the standings are the way they are in main round group 2, still everything's possible for Slovenia.
For sure. And as I was about to say, they got a lot of 2-minute suspension also in the end, and that teared up their energy. But this group, we spoke about the other group being interesting, but this group also Sweden with 4 points. Then there's 3 teams with 2 points and 2 teams with 1 point. So and believe me, this group is also going to be a group where everybody beats everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if Switzerland take another point from another team, and Hungary can also do that. I'm looking forward to both main rounds, even though that I said earlier that main round number 1 is the strongest one, but still number 2, it's a good mix of the teams that is there, that they have the capacity to beat each other as well, and that makes it very interesting.
100%. A very interesting constellations at the EHF Euro 2026, and the ones in main round group 1 will be our focus topic tomorrow again, when it will be time to talk handball again.
Ball across to Dylan Nahi, double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Into the net.
She does it again. Yes.